Hi everybody, this is Eric from Switched, and today we're going to be adapting the Fisher-Price My Pretty Learning Lamp. Now here are some tools you're going to need. This is a pretty easy toy to adapt. The only problem is getting into it. And we'll show you one way that we did it. There are other ways, but we'll get started. So first we're going to start by removing this bottom plate, and this is kind of what's optional. We've done this before, we've just kind of pried off the top, but it's a little easier to work with if you can get that bottom plate off. The trick is using a couple screwdrivers to kind of wedge out these bottom clips. It's easy to do one side and then stick the screwdrivers in the other side until you've kind of wiggled it all out and have freed the bottom plate from the rest of the toy. Once the bottom plate is out, we're going to remove the 4 screws that are on the pink section of the toy, as well as 2 screws on the purple section. Go ahead and remove both purple pieces. You can set those aside, and that will allow us to remove the lampshade. And this will reveal the last screw that we need to remove. Now we can pry the 2 sections of the toy apart. Go ahead and remove the heart button, and we're going to also remove the circuit board. We're actually going to just cut this off. You can use some scissors or some snips. Go ahead and fish out that wire that was connected to the circuit board, and this is where we're actually going to connect our headphone jack to. So go ahead and strip down the casing a little bit so we can solder our headphone jack to these wires. Now we're going to drill our hole in the back of the toy. A good place to do that is directly below the lamp shade where it connects. And go ahead and fish your headphone jack through that hole. And secure it with a zip tie. The zip tie is there just in case the child were to pull on that cord, it doesn't yank it out or ruin any of our connections. So once you've got that zip tie in place, go ahead and snip off any excess and give it a good tug and make sure that it's not going to slip or come out. So now it's time to solder our wires. We're going to connect the 2 black wires, one on the headphone jack and one from the toy. We're going to twist those together and go ahead and solder them together as well. Once they're soldered, we're going to use a heat shrink wire cover to just protect those connections and prevent them from shorting it out. Once we're done with the black wire, we can repeat this whole process with the white wire. So before we put the toy back together, we want to give our button a press and just make sure that everything is functioning properly. Go ahead and reinsert the circuit board. This will no longer be functional, but it will give something for the heart to press up against. And we can go ahead and put the 2 halves of the toy back together. Just make sure you don't pinch any wires. Screw in the screw that was underneath the lampshade and go ahead and reinstall the lampshade. Just make sure you put it on the correct way. Now we can put the purple caps back on and screw those together. Reinstall the 4 screws at the bottom of the toy. Now we're going to reinstall the bottom plate. Just make sure everything is lined up properly and give the toy a firm press down and everything will snap into place.
Switched. Adapted toys. Making play possible.
For more information and additional how-to videos, visit us online at www.switchtoys.org.